So we're going to do a walkthrough of a bodyweight only, strength-based muscle building, otherwise known as hypertrophy workout. This is the type of workout that you might go to the gym, use the machines, dumbbells, that sort of thing to do your session that day. I'm going to do this workout today as a full body workout. It's a way of training that is quite efficient. You cover all the body parts on one session. It's repeatable across the week, so you might be able to do it 3 or 4 times a week, or slot it in on the days where you've got haven't got such a weight-based or resistance-based workout, and it's quite easy to then monitor your progress if you're repeating a similar sort of workout each time. That's not to say throwing in variations is not a great thing to do. If you're doing a personal training session or a session in the gym, and for instance, one chest press machine was busy, you're going to go to the other chest press machine. So you're getting subtle variations. What is a good thing to do is to note down what you're doing and look at consistency repeating over time. So you might do a variation of a press up, which I'll take you through shortly, and then do a different one the next time. When you come back around again, you've got a record in a notebook or just on a sheet of paper or whatever it is to say, last time I did this, I'm going to try and beat it by 1 or whatever it is. I'm going to show you some different techniques for increasing that intensity as well. So rather than, because it's bodyweight exercises, doing excessive numbers of reps to get the same effect, then we're going to put in some different techniques to show how you can increase the intensity, increase the work you're doing, but without spending lots and lots of time doing it. There's many different ways to do it. I'm just going to talk through some different ones and then keep adding to the ideas with some different videos like this. So I've got a workout laid out down here. I'm going to use this as the basis of an example that I'm going to send to you in a document, which is going to be made available to you in a document. So look out for that, and I'm going to go through a workout that essentially uses very little equipment, none apart from I've got a normal size bath towel here. A little bit of a disclaimer, it's very hard to train your back muscles really well with no equipment at all. There's some things you can do, and if you've been doing workouts where you have been doing a lot of press ups or planks, you'll feel the stabilisation that has to go on in your back muscles from doing press ups really well, from doing top planks and holding it really still. What we're hoping is that we're not going to be in this situation forever, and we'll get back to the gym and back on the lat pull down, back on the row machine, back on the TRX, back doing deadlifts, and our back will get the work that we might want to put into it. That being said, there's no reason why we can't be focusing on maintaining our muscle, our strength, whilst we can't go to the gym, and if I haven't got any equipment available, this is the way to do it. There is a way to train your back, body weight only, pull-ups or rows, and I have got videos within the program that I'll send to you to show just how to do those. They're quite straightforward. It's just having the space, a pull-up bar or something similar to be able to do it. So that will be available. I'll just talk about where to slot it in as we go through. That's not to say that this workout is the be-all and end-all of bodyweight workouts. It's just the principles and program that I'm putting together for you guys, and it's there to be tweaked. It's there to be personalised, and I will do that with you individually as needed. Okay, so always good to warm up. Some of you won't even have access to the stretchy bands that I like to use for warm-ups. So the way to combat that is to do just a mobility warm-up, and that can be arms coming across, warm up the shoulder joint, warm up the humeral joints. We're going to go in and out for around about 10, and then we're going to increase the range of motion by crossing over. You'll have seen this on some of the other workouts as well. There we go. So if we just move that, little squeeze in the chest, crossing over in the back, we've got a nice bit of movement going there. Then 90 degrees in the elbows and round and down. This one's quite important because we're going to be pushing back quite a lot using the press ups, variations. So we just want to warm the deltoids up in that rotational movement. Slightly unusual movement, but we're just warming up that. Lower body warm up, Nice and easy. Up and down into a squat, and we'll add a stretch on towards the end. So you can break these up, depending on how active you've been and what time of day you're training. It might be that you've trained in the morning, you're going to do a strength workout in the evening, set of 5, and a nice squeeze out, and then round again. That's going to be ideal. If this is your training session for the day, earlier in the morning, you're going to need to spend a little bit more time warming up, getting the motor units of the muscle fired up, and also getting your blood flow going and starting over your fluid working around in your joints. So that's the warm-up, upper body, lower body. Another one you can add in is glute bridges as well. If you're someone that is focused on lower body training or feels like sitting down a lot is having a negative impact on your glutes in terms of the term called lazy glutes, then put in some glute bridges. Nice and simple. Normal glute bridge, just squeeze up and add those in as well. Okay, so another option is some core activation. Now we're working towards the summer and abs become a bit of a thing, especially for us guys. We might get going to the beach, thinking about even just getting out and about as the sunshine is out and a little bit warmer, hopefully after isolation in a couple of months' time. Midsection comes from nutrition mainly, but that's not to say we can't work it and make the best of our actual musculature there for the time when we have got our nutrition right and our body fat lower. So core activation, you want to throw in, nice and simple. We're just going to hold a straight body plank for 10-15 seconds, focus on the abs, the core section, breathe through and get it fired up. Now I'm saying focus on those muscles because that is what's called the mind-muscle connection. All it is focusing on the muscles you're trying to work. A few years ago it was kind of like a much vaunted thing of if you can get the mind-muscle connection, you're going to work your muscles so much better, as in Flex magazine, Muscle and Fitness, those sort of things. And it was a slightly mystical thing that was almost like the professionals are doing it, and if you can do it, you can get there as well. It's very simple. It's just focusing on what you're doing into that muscle group. So rather than letting your mind wander, happens to me all the time, you focus on what you're doing. And that is as simple as that. So rather than having a chat while you're doing it, or focusing on the music, you focus on the muscles you're trying to work. Don't get me wrong, working out, having fun is what it's all about. Having some music on, what it's all about. But put that little bit of focus in, you're going to work in those target muscles. So that is kind of the stage 2 of the warm-up, the extra little bit in there. So working in now into an upper body, chest and shoulders type of set. Now, I'm not using any equipment. I'm not thinking how we're going to work the shoulders. The front deltoids, the side deltoids, and the rear delts do a lot of stability work within a press up. So they're going to get worked really well, especially when we do some different variations of the press up to change the angle more into the shoulders. So, just get my watch sorted. Just a quick little section on top press up tips. You need to think about where your hand position is relative to your body. Looking at me front on now, actually from above, when you're doing a press up, you're going to be seeing this sort of angle, like an open V coming towards your head. Turn around, it's that sort of position. Actually my hands will be down here. So the thumbs coming across are more level with towards the bottom of my chest. Sternum's in the middle, coming out. Depending on your arm length is how wide you're going to go. End up too wide, you actually start to compromise the muscles in your back because they're going to squeeze together more easily. Bringing it in also has the advantage of working the triceps a little bit more. Bingo wings, obviously another term that sometimes gets used. Bring your elbows right in, you're then working right onto the triceps. I haven't got the longest limbs, so my press ups come quite tight. You've got to work out the right variation for you, but thinking about where your arms are. That being said, we want a nice comfortable position for this because we're going to use a close grip press up later on to focus on the arms. So, the basic press up, I've got some lines on the floor which makes it nice and easy for me. Nice hand position, excuse me. Fingers out and flared and weight forward over the hands. There we go. Often, particularly for ladies, a full press up is just that little bit too hard. But doing 3, 4, 5 good ones is as good as doing lots and lots. So this is the concept of, it's actually the amount of tension and the amount of intensity for you personally is what's going to make the difference. I could go on and do 30 odd fast press ups, 50 odd even if I did them really fast, but slowing it down, keeping the tension is going to have more effect and keep it within a manageable rep range for time and for repeating and for dropping other exercises together. So, on your knees, you still want to have your body as straight as you can. You still want to have your weight forward. Nothing changes in terms of the hand position. The movement becomes easier because you've got less of an angle. If that's still definitely too hard, then bring your hands up onto something. The tallest is on the wall. You might be able to do it on a chair and work it around that way. I'm going to now demonstrate a kind of intermediate type level set, a couple of different ones, and bring some different elements in. So, we're going to get the shoulders working a bit more. No equipment. I'm going to do what's called a monkey press up. So we're going to be on the toes, little bend in the knees, hands coming a little bit further underneath you. I'm going to go for 10 presses in this position. My nose is actually going to go towards the floor. Then I'm going to switch to a normal press up and then down to my knees. So, into that monkey press up, push back. You'll immediately feel that much higher up your body, much higher up your shoulders, into the traps. That's 10. I'm just going to change my hand position, stretch out my body. Now I'm in a normal, regular press up position. Doing it steady for me to get that maximum tension. Down to my knees, keeping a tight body, not taking the tension off. 2, 3, 4, still finishing it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've done 3 parts there, 10 reps of each. Could really feel that. Taking that down a stage, you can knock off the monkey press ups. Taking it down a stage more, just do a regular variation that's right for you. Just do a regular press up, slow and controlled, 8, 10, 12 reps, rest and repeat, 3 or 4 sets. Doing it down onto your knees, just as effective. The principles are the same, just doing what you can to your level for that particular exercise. So, moving on. At this stage, if you're doing a full body workout, and you had got access to a pull-up bar or something like that, we might put a back exercise in. That's going to come in the document. You'll see it on there that it's put in after the chest. And those of you that have had training sessions with me will know chest and back, opposite pairs. It's a nice way of working. We can work one muscle group, work the opposite, the pushing muscles are recovering while the pulling muscles are doing the work. Indeed, you can also do a press up variation with your press up set, followed by your back variation, and keep swapping around in a superset style. We're moving on though. We've done upper and we're going to move to lower. Another way of working is to go up and down the body. Likewise, you can equally separate this workout into an upper body workout and lower body workout to do on different days. So a good way to work with the lower body is actually to focus on the hamstrings and the glutes first, because then the quads don't tire and you can put more into your quad work. For things that you can do body weight for your quads, they're going to work your glutes and hamstrings that little bit more, and maybe they won't have as much energy or the endurance in your muscles left to be able to carry on and do a good job of your hamstring and glute training. So variations we can use, lots of them, but keeping it fairly simple to work through, we're going to put 3 together. This is where you could add a little bit of equipment. I'll put a knee band on. But if I haven't got a knee band, that is absolutely fine. So we're going to start with 10 glute bridges. Then we're going to switch to a hamstring bridge with your feet further out and up onto the heels. And then we're going to go to a hamstring walkout as well. So glute bridges first. Head down, chin slightly tucked, squeezing up. Chin is tucked to stop the hip flexors taking over. So actually when we get to the top, we're not actually pushing the pelvis too far through. It's getting tight and stopping. The glutes tighten up and stop. There we go. 5, 6, 7. Focus on the squeeze. 8, 9, 10. Take those legs out of touch. I'm up on the heels now. I'm going to come down. So I'm almost on the ground and then squeeze up. This transfers the point of contraction down my legs. So my hamstrings are doing all the work now. Further forward than where my fingers are. Same principle. Think about the muscle you're working and squeeze. 8, 9, 10. Okay, hamstring walk. Just going to walk the feet up real slow. Keep on the heels, toes up. And I'm going to walk them out. Think of it as like a reverse plank. So my glutes are almost touching the floor. And back up. 4, 5, 6 steps, real steady on each leg. I'm going to take this in and out. Kind of 2.5 times. I'm going to go one more. Keeping the body up nice and tall. Supporting myself almost to the floor. Not letting myself drop. Almost there. Back up. Plenty of tension into my hamstrings there. And take that down. Great job. If we want to extend that set further, to start with, you could do a hip thrust. Back up onto the sofa, something comfortable, hip thrust, then glute bridge, then hamstring bridges, then the walkout. That's one way of getting a really good posterior, everything down the back of your legs, glutes, hamstrings, glutes, hamstrings, a little bit into the calves, work done. Okay, next set, we're going to switch around to the front. Now we're going to work in the quads. Easier to think of variations with this, much easier. We're all quite familiar with quads, squats and lunges. They're going to work really, really well. It's not exclusively for the quads when we're doing movements like that. Compound movements working across multiple joints. So whether you're doing a squat or a lunge, hips, knees, ankles, all working. We're still going to work into the glutes and hamstrings as well, and the calves, which is great. We're just going to do it in such a way now that we're going to actually focus a little bit more on the quads. So standard moves are your squat, pushing back into that movement, making sure you're sitting back. We'll say it's like you're going to sit on that toilet you don't really want to sit on. So you're just going to hover and back up. Lunges, slight V shape. I want you to slightly step out. I've got 4 boards here. I'm leaving 2 in the middle and then going either side. It's a very subtle V shape and it's just going to make you more stable. So it could be that you do 12 lunges, 10 squats, and that is good and intense enough for you. Then from there we can add things like staying on one leg, a single leg squat, one side then the other. We can add things like isometric holds. That's holding for a time and then the movement. Or really slow down, faster back up. Lots of different elements, and you can put those together. I'm happy to help with that to get the right sort of workout for you around your goals and the level you're working at. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put together a set where I'm going to start off quite dynamic, as in leaving the ground, jumping, and then down into more focused movements, taking it less dynamic as we go through. Now this is technically called a mechanical drop set. So we're going from a harder position or a harder movement, dropping down the complexity to make it intense but manageable. So rather than doing 70 or 80 squats or lunges, we're going to do a combination and still end up at that total number, but we'll do some different variations on the way through. So what I'm actually going to do is jump lunges, jump squats, split squat left and right or right and left. We're going to do a close stance squat. We're going to do a wide stance squat. I'm going to come back in, add in some calves or squat to calf raise, and then I'm going to do what's called a kneeling leg extension, which is actually a very tough bodyweight move, and if I get 10 at the end, I'll be really happy. So, just going to put that down there. So I was just adding squat to toes to what I had ready to go. So, 10 of each is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to work through, straight through, and just talk through what I can. So, jump squat. Whenever you do a jump lunge. Whenever you do a jump lunge, you still want to have that good movement. The switch is in the air. Sometimes it's called a switch lunge, a switch jump lunge. You're switching over and landing a really good lunge. So I'm going to do jump lunge, jump squat, 10 and then 10. So I'm going to drop in, pop it out. And one more. There we go. Good squat position. Drop, pop. Go, straight two, got right leg forward, split squat, weight slightly forward, not too wide, get this front quad working now. Steady down, powering out. Straight round. Focus on the quad you want working. Going to go to a close squat now, so the toes are going to slightly be turned out. And just push back to where I can. Real focusing on the quads now. Take that wider, toes out, and sitting down into it. This is really going to bring in the hamstrings again, and the glutes now a wide stance. That's working really well. So just to add in isometric hold, 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to add a squat up to toes. Get the calves working. then finally, kneeling down into the leg extension. We're aiming to get the body as tall as we can, going back to where we can, and up. It's almost the opposite of what's called a Nordic curl, where you go forward. Ow. So that stretch and sitting up is super hard. Only done 4 there. 5. In again. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Whoa. Quads are on fire. So, I've done actually probably 8 elements there in the end. And counting seconds as reps, 80 odd repetitions. My quads are burning. We'll put together the right sort of set for you. You're going to really work your lower body really hard. 2, 3 times round. You've definitely done a great quad focused set of exercises. Moving back to upper body. I'm going to put in a press up variation here. That is probably my all-time favourite actually. It's called a Serra press up or a serratus press up, and it's activating the muscles here at the side of your rib cage. Now these are the ones that look like fins or tiger stripes coming down when you get quite lean. The advantage of this press up variation as well is activates the back a little bit more, because that's where we're going to put the squeeze in. I'm actually going to combine this with the ab set as well, and it's just a nice combination to do. So you might be just doing abs, that's cool. You might be adding in the serratus push up. Now all it is when you come to the top of the movement, there's no further movement than the shoulders allow, just that tiny extra squeeze. So it's extra little squeeze activation on the side of the chest, so a bit of extra chest work down the side of your body and up into the back. Then I'm going to switch around into 3 abs exercises. I'm going to go for bottom, middle and kind of top, as it were, and work around 3 abs exercises. So here we go. Serra press up first. Nice strong position. My hands are going to be slightly further underneath me for the press up. I'm going to drop. I'm going to do 10. Squeeze, extra tightening into the sides and down. So it's 2 seconds at the top. 2, 1, 2. In again. Up, squeeze. 1, 2. That's 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 4. Up. 1, 2, 5. In again. 1, 2, 6. Up and in again. 1, 2, 7. Not a rush. 2, 8. Getting that tightening every time. And 9. 1 more. Up. Squeeze. 2. So really focusing on tightening here. Has a residual effect of tightening your chest and your triceps just a little bit as well. So round into an ab set. No need to do loads and loads of reps. Good quality movement, nice and steady, is better. So I'm going to bring my feet up, legs slightly bent. I'm going to go for a reverse crunch. Up, a slight squeeze. Keeping my head up a little touch. Keep that focus onto the quads, sorry, the abs. I'm just squeaky floorboard here. 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to do a full range of motion sit up. Right behind my head, all the way up and over. Making the abs do most of the work as much as possible, but having my feet, knees out, allows me to get all the way around. I'm going to switch straight to knees to chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slow and controlled, tension into the abs. They're going to work really hard without doing loads of repetitions, working them for a long time. Abs are the same as any other muscle group. It's about the tension. You're not going to cause a fat loss toning effect by doing more and more reps. You're going to get that more toned look from lower body fat percentage, which comes really from your nutrition. Calories out, 100% in terms of what you expend while you're training, but the abs are small muscles. You're not going to expend much energy tensing like this. It's just not going to have a greatest effect. It's going to work your muscle but not cause fat loss, and therefore having that more toned stomach. Extra little bonus part I'm putting in here now is some plank variations. I'm going to use my water bottle. In the video I've got for you, use a little dumbbell, but same principle. So if planks are more your thing, but you want to up the game, we can add a little tiny weighted element. We can stretch out with water bottle, up and down for 10. We can then, make sure the top's on, do a reach through plank and pull it underneath. Let's come back a touch. Going to reach under and pull it across. Going to reach under and pull it across. So we're going to do 10 of these, nice and controlled. And then getting the obliques more involved, as in the side. A real good variation to the side plank, which is great in itself, is taking the resistance from under and around. The tension across the whole body, but particularly into the obliques from these 6, 8, 10 aside. It's going to mean you work into the obliques, into the side of your body really, really well. Up and round, nice and steady. So, details of that in the program document. Here we go then. Almost at the end. We're going to do a set now focused onto the arms. We're going to bring the press up into a close grip, targeting the triceps, and we're going to bring in the towel here to target the biceps. We're going to use an isometric hold. That means isometric just means a static hold and squeeze the muscles. So close grip press up, all the same setup as before. Just now we're going to have the elbows right in, but that doesn't mean the hands have to come into really close. If that's comfortable for you and a good variation, do that. What tends to happen if you bring your hands in is they rotate out and your elbows end up out anyway, and actually just putting a strain on the joint. It's better to have thumbs basically under your chest at the bottom of the movement. You don't have to go that far down and squeeze out. So these are equally able to be done full or on the knees. Once again, let's move the towel ready. Here we go. So hands in. For me, just a slight turn out. I like to keep my thumbs out just so I can guide my body down. That's a little bit too far forward. So my hands come a bit more underneath me. In we go. Elbows tucked, triceps working. There. Remember, more is not always better. Tension is good. Now, isometric hold for the biceps. Towel down. I'm going to get into a curled position, push my hips back, and really focus on that squeeze into my biceps. My hands are up at the moment, so my brachiolus, this muscle here, is activated that bit more. Turn my hands open, It's going to activate the biceps that bit further up. You can do both. Start at 1, count to 10, squeeze the biceps. Biceps are stronger. With your fingers and knuckles forward, turn it round, keep squeezing. What I'm aiming for is have my back in a really good strong position, like we're doing a bent over row, or a good squat, part way down, squeezing into the biceps. 10 seconds in a couple of positions, you're really going to feel your biceps working. So, basically with no equipment, that is a full body workout that will definitely keep you maintaining your strength and muscle that you've worked hard for in the gym. Any variations, modifications, personalisation, give me a shout. Happy to put that together for you. Indeed, I've got that going out to individuals that have requested it and are working with no equipment at home already. So, next thing is jumping across to a live nutrition talk, and so I'm going to save this video and see you on the next one, up the feed, in a couple of minutes time.